What's going on, my dudes? Onestep here today with the ultimate week 2 tier list for Marvel Rivals, and I'm doing this because this right here is my week 1 tier list. I've had so much more time in the game to play these characters, to play against these characters, and I feel like I have a lot of opinion changes, and there are some big changes that need to be made to my personal tier list. I feel a lot more confident in my feelings about these characters now. Without further ado, let's get into it. Also, as we start, make sure you subscribe here for more Marvel Rivals content, and let me know down below, what do you think of your main character in Marvel Rivals? Where do you think they land on a tier list? Because for mine right here, I have S tier, which is just the top. A tier, which means they are just solid. Mid, as in they're just so mid, it's like not even funny. And then just bottom. Start off, let's go with Adam Warlock. I'm gonna put him in A. He is a really solid character, a really solid support character. I love Adam. He's got one of the best ults in the game with the revive. There are just some things that other support characters do a bit better to keep him from being S, in my opinion. All right, now let's go on to Black Panther, which I'm gonna put in mid. He is just so fine. It's just the problem is like everything that Black Panther seems to want to do, there are other characters that do that but better. Like, you're just, if I want to get in close and do melee and whatever, I'm just not picking Black Panther. Now, Captain America, he's really solid. He's a really good, solid tank. He can deflect projectiles, do awesome melee damage. I like Captain America a lot. He's just not quite S for me. And you know what? The same thing stands for Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange does a lot of things very well. I know he's not meant for damage output because he's a tank, but even then, his damage output is not great. Like, his fire rate is just terrible, and his reload speed feels like it's forever long. But other than that, Doctor Strange is solid. And funny enough, the same exact thing stands for Groot as well. We got 3 tanks in a row that are just very solid tanks. They do what they want to do really well. They're just not quite, you know, that S level yet. But you know who is S in my opinion? After playing Hela a lot more and seeing what she's meant for, she's S. Great damage output, awesome pass. I think her passives put her in the S in my opinion. She's got probably the best passives in the game. A solid AC 130 style ultimate. She can revive Thor and Loki and or healer. She's basically a DPS character. And if you play with the right other characters, she's a healer, she's a reviver. Yeah, Hela is wild. You know who is just so mid? Hulk. And I just, when I play Hulk, I'm trying to get in there and, you know, be that tanky character. There are just other tanks that do that better and have better mobility. Venom. Iron Man, though he's a blast to play, he's very mid. Like, he's good in the right situation, the right maps, but honestly, you're gonna get counterpicked really hard. A lot of characters have their weapons, they can just one-shot you. I'm talking Hela, Hawkeye, Black Widow. Though it's fun to be in the air, you know, ping your opponents from afar and do that splash damage and whatever, he just gets countered too easily. And I feel like his ultimate either gets deflected by Captain America, gets eaten by Magneto, gets stopped by Penny Parker. If it just feels like there's too many ways to stop Iron Man, they just keep him from being A tier in my opinion, but I love him. For heals alone, I'm putting Jeff in S tier. I see a lot of people put Jeff in like A tier or whatever. I think he's S. I think he's being super downplayed. He's got an amazing ultimate that can swallow the entire team, spit him off the edge of the map, or just off himself with them. He's got amazing heals. He can heal himself and give himself a mobility boost as well. And his damage is you know, it's fine for a support character. Jeff is S. Loki is mid. I don't say that in a bad way. He's just, as a support character who's trying to do support and DPS in a way, there are just other supports that do that concept a bit better. Cloak and Dagger. The only thing that I really like about Loki is his ability to take other ults. So like, depending on who you choose in the situation, he can become A tier. But I think standalone wise, though he's so much fun to play, he's mid. Luna is probably one of the best support characters in the game. She's S tier for sure, without question. Her ultimate basically making your team unkillable, giving them a damage boost if you need to push. Awesome heals, good team up abilities. Luna is really good. Dude, I want Magic. I want her to be S so bad because she is so much fun to play. But she's A. She's like low A, high mid. I'm gonna put her A tier. Yeah, in the right hands, you know, I saw this pro player playing her and she's obviously S tier. It's like, no, you're watching her a pro player, so of course they're gonna make her look amazing. But I think overall her kit puts her in A. Like, she's fun. She's a blast. No, she's just not quite doing S tier stuff. I think Magneto, honestly, might be one of the only S tier tanks in my opinion. He does it all well. He takes the heat, he stops projectiles, he can shield himself himself, shield his allies. You utilize those tools correctly. Oh my gosh, he can be a game changer with a decent enough ult as well. Magneto, once you master him, he's phenomenal. I'm gonna put Mantis up here with S. I'm gonna put her kind of interchangeable with Luna Snow, because the thing is, they both do pretty similar things with their ults, their damage output, stuff like that. But Mantis can also give her teammates and herself a damage buff, utilizing that correctly on the correct allies in the right situation and all that with the good heals or amazing ultimate. I can see why you might argue high A. I put her S. I love her. She's great. Speaking of A, we're gonna put Moon Knight up in A. I think a lot of people upplay Moon Knight, saying, "Oh no, he's S tier. Man, he's so good. He's so annoying." But I think he's A. This is not a bad thing, by the way. Like, the character does not need to be S tier to be playable and or really good with the character. I just think that there are some things that can be tweaked about them to like make them better, and or there are other characters that essentially do what they do, but this much better as well. But Moon Knight is a very, like, these are all very fun characters. They're just not quite S tier in my opinion. I love Namor. I think he's so much fun, but he's honestly pretty mid. Again, there are just DPS characters that do what he wants to do, but they do it a little bit better. His turrets, though they can be super annoying, and if placed right, they can do some awesome stuff. They just get targeted, they get taken out too easily. Decent enough ult, and though he can protect himself, it's very situational. This doesn't mean these are, you know, bad characters. Just comparatively, they're not quite on the same level. If you're watching this, I don't mean to downplay you, but you're likely not a pro, super competitive player. So honestly, if you have fun playing Iron Man, Black Panther, and more, go out there and just have some fun. Who cares if they're mid? Mid, in my opinion anyway. I've actually had time now to put into Penny Parker, and originally I thought she was like bottom or mid. And after playing her for a lot longer now and playing against her, I've changed my mind. Penny is A tier. She's a really fun and really good tank. She's basically like a DPS tank hybrid. But if you play her right, man, she can just hold down the objective. She's really good. Her ultimate could be better, which I think is what's keeping her from being S tier in my opinion. It's just so mediocre. Rocket Raccoon, in my opinion, is, though he's good, he's just the bottom of all supports in my opinion, so I'm gonna put him in mid tier as well with Loki. He's got some good team up abilities, but again, trying to be that DPS support hybrid, it's so okay. I like Rocket, he's just mid. Y'all are up playing the hell out of Scarlet Witch, you know that, right? You know that she's mid, right? Like, man, she's a blast to play, and yeah, sure, in the right situation she can just melt you, but in reality, compared to the rest of the roster, she's just getting picked off by anybody else. Magic could delete her in 3 hits. Faster than Scarlet Witch could melt Magic. Even Iron Fist, Wolverine, characters that need to be close to do damage will melt her faster than she melts them. She's a ton of fun. And not only that, but like, her ultimate just takes 4 years to come out. It's just, she's gonna get targeted when she starts screaming for her ult. Again, she's a blast. She's just mid. People want Spider-Man to be S tier. I'm sorry, he's not. He's A tier. Again, solid character, solid kid, solid moves. He's just solid all around. The only thing that's like S about him would be his mobility, of course, but I don't think that makes him overall S tier, so I'm gonna keep him in A. Star-Lord himself is just mid. People like Scarlet Witch are just up playing the hell out of Star-Lord. He's gotta be super close to really do anything. The only thing that really makes him stand out, in my opinion, is his ult. You can use his ult with his shift dodges to reload, and that can go crazy and team wipe, sure, but one ultimate compared to the rest of the kit doesn't put him in a S tier in my opinion. I'm gonna sound like a broken record. Again, super fun character, just overall mid. I think the same stands for Storm. She gives the mobility boost, the damage boost, sure. She's trying to be the support DPS hybrid character as mainly DPS. She just does it all so fine. I'm just not, you know, super impressed with the things that Storm does. She's fun, she's good, but she's mid. Punisher is a really good standard run and gun character. I'm gonna put him up in A tier. There's nothing really needed to be done with him. He's just solid. We got the gun, we got the shotgun, we got mobility with the grappling hook, we got an amazing ult. Like, he's just solid. He just gets counterpicked too easily, in my opinion, to put him in S tier. He's right there on the cusp, but he's just a really really solid character. The more and more that I play with Thor and play against Thor, I start to realize he's A tier. Thor has got some awesome tools, and man, he just does not die, it feels like. He can enhance himself. He's got really good cooldowns for his ability, a pretty damn good ult. Again, overall, he's just a really solid character. And I'm going to say the same exact thing for Venom. Just really solid all around. Good damage, awesome mobility for a tank. But all of these things, I mean, could be just that much better to put him in S tier. That wouldn't make him broken in my opinion. But as it stands now, he's just really solid. Winter Soldier, I see people downplay the hell out of him. And the more that I play him, the more that I play, I think he's S tier, man. He is S tier for sure. He's got the projectile, the standard gun. He can reload with all of his other abilities. You get in his face, he does not care. He's got in your face abilities. An ultimate move he can just keep reusing over and over again. Yeah, Winter Soldier is downplayed. He's S tier. And the same thing goes for Hawkeye. Same thing as Winter Soldier. He's got the projectiles, he's got the melee abilities, solid ultimate. Hawkeye's got it all. Psylocke's the first one where I'm kind of debating SA. I think she's really high A. This is not ordered, but like, you know, if they were high A, low, I'm gonna put her A. Psylocke lovers are gonna be like, no, she's totally S tier. I don't know, man. There are just some that do it better than she does. So she's really close to S and she's really damn good. I don't know, man. I just think she's just not quite there. I'm gonna put way more time into Squirrel Girl. She is so much fun to play, but she's also just so mid in all the right ways, man. That she's got some fun abilities. She can do the damage. She got a pretty fun ultimate, but again, overall, her kit is just pretty mid. Oh man, you know, I never see a reason to be playing Black Widow. I'm sorry, she's just bottom, man. Like everything that she wants to do, you know, Hawkeye does it, Winter Soldier does it, it feels like. And her melee, again, other characters do it better. Wolverine, Iron Fist. I want to say mid, but there's just no reason I would pick her over any of these. Y'all are up playing the hell out of Iron Fist. People are like, oh, he's S tier, he's broken, he's crazy. No, he's A tier. Like, yeah, in a 1v1, he's S tier. This isn't a 1v1 fighting game. This is a full-on 6v6 team-based game. And with that, Iron Fist, he's A tier, man. He's A tier. And yeah, he's got great mobility and like whatever. But to say he's S tier just does not make sense to me. He's not up here with these guys. He's a really solid character. But again, he's A tier. Sticking with the A tier theme, we're gonna go with Cloak and Dagger. Cloak and Dagger is just, they have it all, man. They got great DPS, they got great support, they got great heals. Their ultimate is mediocre at best, like it's fine, but overall they are very solid. See, here's the thing. I don't know what to do with Wolverine. I want to say bottom because he's just so, like, you're gonna see some awesome clips on Twitter like, oh, Wolverine is broken, check this out. But in reality, overall, he's not up here. I would rather play Iron Fist for like a get in your face character. I want to say mid. Again, it's not ordered, but like between mid, bottom, like he's just, everything you're wanting to do with Wolverine is just so okay and almost bottom. You know what? I hate to say it. I think he's down there with Black Widow. I think he is a lot of fun to play, but the overall kit of Wolverine and what he wants to do is kind of in the same boat of Black Widow, where it's like, well, if you want to do this thing with Wolverine, you could also just do it with this other character and also have a better kit overall. Like, yeah, really, if you're playing Wolverine or you're playing Black Widow, you're really playing them because you love them as a character, and nothing wrong with that. I respect that, but I'm saying for ability in their kit, they're just, I think they're bottom, man. You know, I thought we would have a lot more bottom characters, and turns out I only have 2. In my opinion, most characters are gonna be between A tier and mid, you know, like really solid or just right beneath that. It's funny, this right here is my week 1 tier list for comparison. I thought Iron Fist, like everybody else, I thought he was S tier to begin with, and he's just not. I keep Jeff in S. Jeff deserves it. So does Luna. At first, Magneto was A tier. I think he's S tier. Adam stayed the same. Venom went down a peg in my opinion. Winter Soldier stayed the same. Cloak and Dagger went down a peg, and so did Doctor Strange and Groot. So as you see, there are some pretty big changes with my week 1 and then week 2 tier list. Wolverine, again, I thought like everybody else that he was A tier, and after playing just so much more, he's just not. Same with Black Widow. Look, I put them both up in A tier, and I'm like, actually, no, they're just not. But a lot of characters that were put in B or mid kind of stayed there, right? Like Iron Man and Loki, same with Scarlet Witch and Storm. And then as you see right here, I put Penny in bottom, and now I think she's A. I really do. So there are some really big big changes just after a week of playing. I've just had so much more time to play these characters, play against them. I feel a lot more confident in this tier list alone. So with all that being said, my dudes, let me know your thoughts down below. What do you think of this tier list? Do you agree with it? Do you disagree with it? What do you agree with and what do you disagree with? Let me know your thoughts down below. Subscribe here for more content. Take it one step at a time and go ahead and click into these videos next for more Marvel Rivals news, guides, reactions, and more.